Hello, hi, how are you?
Fine. How are you, ma'am?
I'm good. My name is Khadija, and we will start with your podcast. So, would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Divyansh Kumar. I am from Chitkara International School, Chandigarh, and I am the author of the book Leonum, Fabulam. The book, it is obviously like due to the camera effect, it is reversed. Like,
Yes. Okay. So, I also, went through your book, Leonum Fabulum, and it's a very, very unique name of all the books that I have read so far. It's a very unique name. So, I would like to know, why this name? What does it exactly mean? And what is your book about?
and whenever I watch fantasy series and etc., there's always uh the name is basically the name basically means the story of lions in Latin. I translated into Latin because Latin is a language that really uh that is really expressive and a little mystic. So I really wanted the name to be in Latin or a language that is not common. And I wanted it to stand out because I think the story stands out.
Yes, it does. I did not get to read the entire book, however, because it's a 77 pages long
Yes.
book. But I read a few pages, and in the beginning, I got to know that, there are two characters, Callisto and Leo, I presume, are the main leads of the book. And they kind of, I think they go on a journey or some kind of,
Yes.
a mystery
Yes.
experience. So, how is their journey like? I mean, what exactly do they do in the book?
Well, it is definitely very like turn of events. Leo, for example, his parents are not there, and fate basically strikes again. Another unfortunate a series of unfortunate events lead him to be very despair. It broke his dream. His dream is to basically a magic knight, but the fate striked again, and it led him that he was not able to do it. He was not able to become a knight, magic knight. So he is depressed right now. Then a magical deity comes, celestial deity is there, and due to that deity's instructions, the deity claims to know the information about his parents. So he goes to the jungles of Indica, and there he meets Simba. Simba, basically a plant magic master. The first meeting is full of suspicions, but then they develop a bond, and a bond that is of a higher power that nobody can actually understand. The forest seems to be in danger by a corrupted person, but that is not their actual intent. And you will find that intent in the book itself. And you can see the jungles of Indica in the map that I have provided
Yes.
on the first page, on the continent of Panthera.
Yeah, so it's a an entire experience in the book itself. I went through all of the pages and the images that you've attached or the map that there is. So it's all very interesting. And because it's also written that as far as I could read, I think there are two chapters in this book so far, and you've mentioned that there
Yes.
will be other books following in the same series, right? So, will there be, the same characters going on to other such journeys?
Um, Definitely, it is a continuous story. It basically carrying on the adventure, which is basically they say the end of the first chapter is them leaving for that journey, and the starting of the second chapter is basically them arriving there. And the second chapter is the main. The first chapter is only the introduction to the characters, the world building, the map, and everything basics for you to be immersed in the world and be down with the basics. That what is the currency and etc.
So yes, it's a very detailed and descriptive book, so that the readers are also able to relate to the story better, and they're actually immersed in the world itself while reading the book. So that's very, very good. I understand that you have taken the plot as is. It starts from one journey, and then you have basically laid down the entire map of what is happening in the book, and then the book starts. So have you also thought through of the future chapters that you're going to write, or is it like it will just flow in and you'll write through?
Definitely, I have a Word file with like till the end. This I wanted to incorporate a lot in this one, but due to the time limit, I was not able to do. But I have written that it is the first of many books. So I want this to be a series of books tackling adventure, and it will all be linear. And I want to touch on many things. Maybe I have a idea for a prequel which will touch on the politics of the world, and then the stories, the twists, the arcs. I have a whole Word file on like what are the characters, what are the twists, what is going to happen. I have laid it all.
So how did you think it through? I mean, the entire series, because it's a vast project, I presume. Uh,
So I basically made not a storybook, but I have written all the core events, and then when I am actually writing those books, I will fill in the details and change them accordingly. Because because like it obviously will change a little based on that. But I made this file during the night of my exams, because I am learning everything, then I am not using my creative side, so to relieve that pressure, it was a really good activity. And I just thought, okay, I may make this book. And at the starting of the session, on our school part, there was a message that BriBooks is hosting this competition. And then I was like, all right, I don't need to think of an idea. I can. This is basically the gold mine I've been waiting for.
so before you were introduced to BriBooks, did you always wanted to write a book, or some way down the line wanted to become an author, or you just thought of it when you were introduced to the idea of BriBooks?
And this was my first actual creative writing project that put I gave my everything for it, right? That I, worked really hard for. But I have done a few creative writing projects, etc. But I have not really thought of writing a book. It was the story when I'll tell you about the process of writing, where the idea originated from. It was basically for like a webtoon kind of thing. But I thought that no, I want this to be really, you know, uh, really, detailed, and that could not be achieved in that. I wanted to make the world various immersive. So yeah.
And when you were first introduced that you can write a book, and you said that you had written down an entire plot, or at least the major points that will follow in the other books. So, how did you think about? I mean, what was the inspiration behind this book? And B, how did you think about the entire the series of the book that you would write about? Why this?
Alright. This basically, I can say that this book has been making kind of in the making for 1.5 years, I would like to say, because it started when our school gave us a Canva account, and on that, I used to create AI images, and I thought that there are not a lot of fantasy series with lions being the main, magical component and magical lines. So I just made a lot of images. I have around 100 AI generated images on my Canva account. Yeah, I spent a lot of time making it. It was a really fun process. I
Yeah.
still do it to this day. So basically, I made all the characters, and for the future characters as well, like till the end, I have made the final villain as well.
Oh my God.
The image for it.
It's really good.
Yes. Uh, so when I got that, I thought I wanted maybe this to be like webtoon or something. Then in my exam, I left it for it because I was preparing for the exams. I did not touch the images for a while. Then during the nights of the exam, I just started writing and writing about the story, about everything. And then I told you that pre-books competition, the notification was there, and then I just signed up on the day that I got to know about it. Yeah.
You had
So
already
that was basically.
created the images, and then you thought of the entire story that wherein it.
No,
them.
I had like basically come up with the characters. For example, Simba's character I had already created, and I had in mind like about the character of Leo.
All
Well,
right.
Callisto was I made the images for Callisto at that time. I made all the images during the uh, like during the book making process. Basically, in BriBooks, what they do, they write the story and then they choose the pictures. But
Correct.
it was reversed
That's
for
an
me.
option.
I
That's
made the AIs first, AI images first, and then I made the book.
and
I
it
got the
has
inspiration.
mentioned anywhere in the book that all of these images are made by you. I mean, designed by you literally, because that will
Yeah,
be
I mean, I gave the prompt for the images, and in the back of the book, it is written that all the images are AI generated by me. I have
yes,
like made it. Yes.
because that's something very interesting that readers would love to know about, because all of your images
Mm.
are pretty amazing. I've seen all of those, and definitely I would love to read more of your books and see more of your characters. So because now you have published a book and you have also become an entrepreneur, so how was your entire journey, the entire process from writing a book to publishing it, then marketing it?
Well, the writing process was really good. I like to say that when I was publishing the book, that feeling before the exam paper when you see it, that was the exact same feeling that got during the publishing day, the day I published. It was the exact same feeling. I was scared.
You were a little
Although it was
nervous,
not
a
like
little
on the first
excited.
day it was going to be judged, but like there was still what is this, what is the final draft going to look like, what is the book actually going to look like. So many things were going around in my mind.
And when you actually got your book, the first copy of your printed book, how did that feel?
I loved it. I mean, the quality of the pages, everything, the feel, and like the weight of the book because it is a really long book, and everything just felt so great that I have written this book. There is my name is on the cover. It
Yes,
was a surreal experience, to say the least.
yes. And
It was really.
apart from, because you have written a book, so you must have researched about it, how to write a book or all of the process in that. So do you also like to read books in general, or just not?
Well, I have read a few books, basically, but the thing was for this, I did like look up a lot of tutorials for really high like books, the very serious books and everything. For I look up the tutorial, I watched the videos and etc. to how to write the fight scenes, etc. etc. So I basically took all that information down it because I wanted to keep it still simple because that is my target audience,
Correct.
most likely teens and etc.
Yes.
Right? So teens, teenagers, like that is my target audience. So yeah, I like looked up a lot of tutorials about how to write the battle scenes, how to incorporate world building, etc. And then the biggest learning, I have read only a few books, and those were not this genre. Those were just comedy books. So yeah, but I have seen a lot of shows regarding this genre, so I guess that probably helped me. And the biggest thing that helped me was the writing process itself. Because when I started it and when I finished it, I would like to say that my creative writing, quote unquote, evolved during the process. I kind of didn't like the first pages because because what I have written at the end is, I believe, a better version than that. So I wanted to redo the whole first chapter because I was like, no, I want this to be better, but the time limit is. But definitely, I know that the for the next book, it is I am going to be uh like making it better, but then the same thing is going to be happening because I will keep on evolving while writing the book,
Correct.
and that is the beauty of writing, I guess. That is
Yes.
the beauty of writing.
Correct. Also, because you have had the entire because book writing is not just about uh, basically becoming an author is not just about writing a book. It's an entire process of, writing it, then promoting it and everything else. So did you get some tips, or how did you actually think about, marketing your book, or how did that went, or if, if you took help from somebody, how did that turn out?
All right, for the help, when I was writing the core pages of this book and everything, the images, I was in Delhi for my summer vacations. I was at my cousin's house. I was writing the book for like hours at that time, on that day. So my sister, Pranya, she is basically in ninth. I'm in eighth, right? She's in ninth, and she helped me a lot. She did like she basically was my editor time. She told me that this is the best thing. I can change it like this, and she read the last draft of the book as well. So yeah, and everything. Obviously, when time management for and everything with that, my mother and my sisters helped me lots and lots with it. And I have a few friends that are avid book readers. So yeah, I also talk with them.
So this book, it is more of a, mystical or basically fantasy fiction book. Uh,
Yes,
apart,
action fantasy kind.
yes. So apart from this genre, is there any other genre that in maybe in future you would like to explore or write a book about?
Well, the genre that I'm really, excited and, I'm really intrigued about is murder mysteries and thrillers, but those are really difficult to write. Especially thrillers and, managing the turn of events and everything, the wordplay, the dialogues, and if I should like how I cannot ruin the plot, make it more, you know, believable and yeah, make it a better experience for the readers. So that is genre I am really excited about, but I will definitely take it after I've completed this series. Like if when my abilities have evolved to that level, I
Correct.
would definitely like to take it up.
Also, because now I understand that, it's very good that you have written down all of the points so that, all of the stories connect with each other and are in sync with each other, so that, we can understand that, all of these books come to a singular series. Uh, Again, the same cases with the other genres that, you are trying to focus on maybe in the future. That is the same case with it, right? So it's good that you have planned out everything in the beginning. Also, because there are a lot of young writers and who are writing their first books. So if there is some kind of tip that you would want to, or some kind of an advice that you want to share with them. uh
My tip would just be like write your first book. That would be my tip. Because the writing the first book would be you would get everything. You would not I mean it will not be your best piece. It will not definitely not be your best piece. Uh it may not get a lot of success. Right. But the thing is, in my experience, how my abilities evolve and became better, I think that is really important. And it will get your fear of that, the first thing I told you, right? That exam thing, like I was feeling fear about it, that will go away. You will be more comfortable and you will always think that what I could have done better. And that is a really important.
and because you have written a first book, and you said it yourself that your journey became easier after that, and now you're more confident about writing other books. So there are a lot of kids who worry about what if my first book fails and I'm not able to do good. But then once you have actually crossed that hurdle, or you've completed that, basically a challenge that you've given yourself. So were there any kind of challenges that you gave yourself before you started to pen down this book?
For writing down shit. I guess I would just wanted to include a lot of world building elements to it. And I wanted to be really descriptive. But the challenge for me was when I'm writing something or creative writing, it is really hard for me to stick to a word limit. I want to write as much as possible. So the 525 characters, those were my biggest challenges because I had to keep everything to that while maintaining para or a thing that or a page that is really like descriptive and everything, but still At in the on the other hand, I had to maintain the word limit. So that was one of the biggest challenges for me. That
And
was my basically.
yes. So, uh, therefore, I think that you had come up with a very great idea of, continuing this and not just compiling everything in one book, because that also becomes difficult for readers to, read a lengthy book. It's easy for people to because you leave a cliffhanger maybe in the end, and it's kind of an open end. People would want to know what happens next.
Yes.
Right. So is there anything else that, you would want to share about your book or anything else?
There is actually one thing. I have made a cinematic kind of movie trailer for the book.
In a mystical realm, an ordinary boy named Leo resides alongside his enigmatic feline companion Callisto. Leo's fervent desire is to become a magic knight, wielding elemental powers like other young adults in his world. However, fate, ever capricious, intervenes once more, snatching away his dream much as it did with his parents on the night of his birth. Yet there emerges a glimmer of hope. A celestial deity beckons Leo, claiming knowledge of his parents' whereabouts, to the jungles of Indica. Amidst verdant foliage and ancient secrets, Leo encounters Simba, a master of plant magic. Their initial meeting is fraught with suspicion, but events soon forge an unbreakable bond of friendship and another of a higher power. But danger looms. A malevolent, corrupted, poisonous, and treacherous force threatens the very fabric of their forest sanctuary.
One of the most rewarding things for writing the book was getting the silver medallion. It
Yes.
was a really fun process. Yeah, so like the marketing is a really great, thing for I email and message a lot of people, and the ones that bought it were like I was one of the most proud things. Another moment is someone like a friend of a cousin, like a really fine person that I know, bought the book, and they said that they would read it, they would give it to someone in eighth, like for the same grade, and they would read it. Like that is such a proud moment that someone your same age is reading your book. I
Yes.
think it cannot get a better than that. It couldn't get better than that. That someone in your same grade would read your writing.
It's
That
like
is just
it's an achievement in itself, because I
yes,
remember back in
definitely.
our days when we wanted to write a book, it was an entire process in itself, because you have to reach out to publication houses, and then there's a lot of things going on. Here it's all at one platform. You write, you publish, you sell. It's just as simple as that.
Yes. Yes, I have like seen the videos of the stories of authors and their hardships and everything they have been through. And like I am writing a book and I am being a author by just writing, focusing on the writing part. I can give my absolute 100 to just writing the book. I don't have to worry about anything else. And after that, marketing, which BriBooks is already helping us do so much after providing this us with the chance to write the book. I mean, really, they have brought out the best part of ourselves, best authors of ourselves.
Yes, and I
So I would
think that,
really love.
book writing is not just about the best people who are either good in writing or anything of that sort.
Yes,
Anybody and everybody can be an author, right? If you have a story,
yes,
even if you don't have a story, and maybe, you have an opportunity, sometimes it happens is that, we don't really think about becoming an author or writing a book or having any such creative projects. But when the opportunity arises, we think about it, and then we realize that, okay, why not? Why not us? And it is as simple as it is, right? So once we just start to sit and start to write a book, the journey becomes easy in itself.
yes, definitely. I know a lot of my not classmates, but yes, classmates. They have also written the book, and they did not have an idea like this. They just said, "All right, we will write a book." Then they wanted. Some wrote their books for the siblings. Some wrote them about the different stories, how stories could be popular stories could be different, and etc. I mean, writing a book is also kind of a therapy.
Yes,
I
it is.
would like to say, yes, it definitely is. It provides a creative outlet as I did in my exams. So it was kind of therapy in my exams when, are under the stress. It definitely, I was like, okay, I was basically lost when I was writing the plan for the book, all worries aside. And I was refreshed after writing that plan for me to continue studying. So I guess it helped my exams as well. So there are so many benefits to writing this book. The most difficult thing is to start. You just
Correct.
need to start, and the flow will be built
That's,
just upon that.
I
You
think,
just need to start.
starting is the first step for everything. Everything
Yes,
seems
yes,
difficult until you start.
definitely. I do agree, completely agree with it.
Okay, okay. Divyansh, I hope that I pronounced your name right.
Yes, right.
All right. So
Yes,
it
it is
was
something.
great talking to you. I wish you all the best for this book and all of the other books that will follow. All right.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. It was a lovely time talking to you about this passionate thing of my passionate book writing. And thanks again to BriBooks, to my school, and to my family for supporting me through this process. And yes, I guess that's it.
Thank you. It was great,
Thank you
great
so much.
having you here as well. Have a great day. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.